thumped forward by Theoharis, and now urged forward the Victory players, almost out on their feet by Kevin Muscat. This has got to be the last chance. Up it goes from Andrew Redmayne. Simon wins another good flick on. Carney inside the box. Chance here! Lawrence Thomas again. Mierzejewski. Oh, it's an own goal! Would you believe it? The second in the game, and perhaps from Victory's best player in the game, Terry Antonis. That is oh so cruel on Melbourne Victory. 2-2. Remarkable drama. Almost with the last kick of the game.
Well, you can't believe it. I mean, they just kept pumping it forward and they repelled everything. And then Mierzejewski somehow gets to this ball, and Antonis coming back. It's harsh on him. Simon's caused all the problems. This one comes out. Here's the first chance. Great save from Thomas. Mierzejewski gets there, and he lost his bearings. What else can you say? They just got very, very deep as they have been. That's the first chance to Bobo. Mierzejewski gets it back. Antonis there,
just got it wrong.
Comes off the outside of his shin. And unlikely as it seemed, Sydney pulled something out of the hat, as so often champion teams do.
Oh, look at the Victory response. They cannot believe 15 seconds, we were told.
It was over.
That's all that was left. If that goes out, Victory are in the grand final. Antonis looking to make immediate amends. We're going to have extra time. We thought that might be the case at the start. We certainly weren't sure of this script. Graham Arnold and his team have got out of jail with virtually the last kick of the game. Extraordinary. We're going to have an extra half an hour, possibly penalties on top of that. Hard not to feel sorry for Terry Antonis. He was magnificent tonight. But his last kick of the game means that Victory haven't won it, at least not yet. And just as it was in last year's grand final here in Sydney, it ends all square in the most dramatic of circumstances. And we need extra time and perhaps pens again to decide next week's grand finalists. Sydney FC 2, Melbourne Victory 2 at the end of 90 minutes.
David Carney got caught playing them onside.
Donachie winning that one. Told the penalties will be taken at the Cove end of the ground. I assume that's in preordained, pre-game. Antonis had no right to get through there, really, but still he goes on. O'Neill giving chase forlornly. Still Terry Antonis! Has he won it for Melbourne Victory? The villain turned hero in navy blue runs to accept the adulation of the Victory fans. Are they heading to a sixth grand final? Extraordinary!
What a run. Absolutely brilliant. Incredible stuff from Antonis. He's the one that put us into extra time. Brilliant, he's got the finish at the end. Brandon O'Neill just didn't have the legs to go with him. They got out of a tight spot on the sideline, near the touchline, sorry. Ninkovic loses the ball. Antonis here, squares up Warland, gets that, Ninkovic with a lunge, and then O'Neill can't catch him. And he just keeps going and going. And he takes his luck, it takes a deflection, he won't care. And smashes into the back of Sydney FC's net. Talk about persistence. Just keeps going, going. Wilkinson, does he come, does he go? In the end, he lunges, and it's the deflection off him that surely sends Victory through to the grand final.
Well, that's how you atone for an own goal. There are tears from Terry Antonis, tears of joy, tears of relief, perhaps. Totally understandable. Meantime, as you were watching those replays, John Paul de Marini came onto the pitch and had an altercation with David Carney. Now, the Victory assistant coach, however excited he is, should not be on the pitch. And that's what's caused this little fracas. VAR is looking at all this. They've seen the pictures.
Well, there's nothing wrong with emotion and elation, but you can't do that.
And Kurt Ams has got to take counsel on all this and decide what is the best course of action. Just another typical Big Blue Robbie Slater. 5 goals, extra time, talking points all over the place.
And a red card about to come.
Yeah, John Paul de Marini sent to the stands. And I don't think really he can have anybody but himself to blame. Paul Trimboli wisely ushering him down the tunnel, which has all rather taken the gloss off that glorious moment for Melbourne Victory and for Terry Antonis. Talk about the emotions of football. With 15 seconds to go, he was heartbroken. Now, he might have just sent Victory through to their 6th grand final.
Well, barring another miracle, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Matt Simon has been booked for his part in those shenanigans. Well, Victory was celebrating what looks like being the winner.
Well, going back to the goal, Sydney have only got themselves to blame. Ninkovic loses the ball. Wallen gets himself caught up on the sideline.
Oh, hang on. More drama to come. What's going on here? Another coach is going to be sent to the stands, potentially, I'm being told. Is this Dean Anastasiadis, perhaps? No? Or Anthony Correa? Yeah, it's goalkeeping coach Dean Anastasiadis.
They'll have no coaching staff at the grand final.
Well, he certainly won't be able to do the pre-game warm-up with Lawrence Thomas and Matt Acton, the number 2, next week, if Victory get through. He's got a bit to say to the crowd as well, all ending in rather acrimonious fashion, which is normally the case between these two.
Sydney Graham Arnold's shouting 4 minutes, possibly about right. But in spite of those red cards,
Chris Griffiths-Jones has had so much to do. I think he's forgotten about the added time. He's about to show us the board now. 5 additional minutes. Let's just prolong the drama a bit longer, shall we? Victory fans cannot believe that.
Well, Victory now got a bounce in their step.
Well, there was a long review, and this is why. Dean Anastasiadis getting involved on behalf of his coaching colleague John Paul de Marini in trying to fend off David Carney from setting up a date in Newcastle next Saturday night.
Well, you've got to praise Victory's performance, and the goal from Antonis epitomises everything that they come here to do. And they're in.
There it is. 27 months, 823 days they've waited, but finally they have beaten Sydney FC. Melbourne Victory upset the odds to book their spots in next weekend's grand final. It will be a record 6 end-of-season showpiece for the club. Sydney FC beaten at home for just the 2nd time in 2 seasons. And what a night for Terry Antonis. The villain in the 90th minute with the own goal that made it 2-2, but then the hero to win it for the Navy Blues. Sydney missed their chance at A-League immortality, and it is a rather sad end to the reign of Graham Arnold, whose era produced 4 trophies. But it is Melbourne Victory who have the shot at the big one next weekend. Their first win over Sydney in over 2 years, and now the tears flow. And well they might. Tears of joy for Melbourne Victory after an emotional and drama-filled night at Allianz Stadium. And at the end of it all, we have a first grand final to be held in Newcastle next Saturday night. It's going to be not Graham Arnold, but Ernie Merrick against Kevin Muscat. Master against the apprentice for the big trophy itself. What a night. What another drama-filled Big Blue. But it's Victory who have won it by 3 goals to 2. Well, let's go down to Tara and get some reaction.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. I'm joined by Terry Antonis, who scored the match winner tonight. What about that from utter heartbreak to pure joy? You're in the grand final, mate.
Yeah, look, I can't describe it, emotionally it was crazy, to score a going goal and to score the winner, it's an amazing feeling, and the boys stuck hard, we had the game plan and we've been waiting a long time for this.
You had to dig pretty deep out there. What went through your mind? I'm sure you had the demons that rushed in. You're thinking, oh my gosh, there was 20 seconds to go, and then you're running, the goal's open, and you finished it.
Yeah, look, like I said, I can't describe it, when all the Sydney fans were giving me crap, they just gave me more energy, and to score that here, I can't explain it.
What about this team performance? You guys dug so deep tonight. It was not easy by any stretch of a football game. Tired bodies, exhausting out there.
Look, we had a game plan. All the boys stuck together with one team. Everyone, the coaches, the staff, off the board, all the players on the pitch gave it all tonight to get into the finals. So there we go.
Bring on Newcastle, huh? Enjoy the win, Terry.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Bye-bye.